You know that feeling, right? You're driving along, you see a school zone sign, and for a split second, you panic. Wait, am I supposed to slow down right now? Trust me, you are not alone. So today, we're going to turn that confusion into pure confidence. We're going to break down the rules for school and playground zones, nice and simple. Let's dive in. I mean, this scenario right here, this is what trips so many of us up. You see the sign, you glance at the clock, you're scanning for kids, and you have to make a decision fast. Well, we're going to clear this up for good by looking at exactly how these zones work. So here's our game plan. First, we'll figure out where a zone actually begins and ends. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the timetables for both school and playground zones, cover the super important rules that trump everything else, and then we'll wrap it all up with a simple checklist. Okay, first things first. Before we even think about times or speeds, we have to know when we're actually in one of these zones. And luckily, the answer is all about spotting the signs. Now, the official, kind of legal-sounding term for these signs is a traffic control device. But really, that's just a fancy way of saying the sign on the side of the road. Think of these signs as the official start and stop buttons for all the special rules. And it's a really simple two-step process. The second your car passes that first sign, you know, the one with the little stick figures on it, the rules are on. You are in the zone, and you stay in it until you pass another sign that either says the zone is over or, just as importantly, posts a higher speed limit. That's your green light to go back to normal speed. All right, so now we know where the zones are. Let's tackle the first big point of confusion, the specific times for school zones. This is where checking your watch really matters. And here is the absolute key. These special speed limits, they don't apply on weekends, they don't apply on holidays, or during summer break. If school isn't in, the school zone speed limit is off. Well, with one huge exception that we're going to get to in just a bit. So, on those school days, the lower speed limit is active during three main windows. You've got your morning drop-off from 8 to 9:30. Then there's a midday block from 11:30 to 1:30, which covers things like lunch and kindergarten schedules. And finally, the afternoon pickup from 3 to 4:30. If you're outside these times, the regular speed limit is back in play. Okay, let's switch gears to playground zones. A lot of drivers just assume the rules are the same as school zones, but they are totally different, and honestly, they're much simpler to remember. And this right here is the biggest difference of all. School zones, they're tied to the school calendar. But playground zones, they are active every single day of the year. Weekends, holidays, the middle of summer, it makes no difference. And the timing is way simpler too. Forget about those three separate windows. Playground zones have one long, continuous block of time. They kick in at 8:30 in the morning and stay active all the way until 1 hour after sunset. And just so we're crystal clear, 1 hour after sunset doesn't mean when it starts getting dark. The clock for that full hour only starts ticking after the sun has completely vanished below the horizon. This just gives kids a safe window to play, even as the evening sets in. Now, we've arrived at what might be the most important part of this whole explainer. There are two rules that are so important they override everything else we've just talked about. The times, the days, you name it. If you see these conditions, the zone is active, period. This is rule number one, the big one. If you see those flashing yellow lights at a school or a playground zone, it does not matter what time it is, what day it is, or if school's out for summer. Those lights mean one thing and one thing only. The speed limit is in effect right now. No exceptions. And the second critical rule is all about passing. Whenever a school or playground zone is active, so you're within the time limits or those lights are flashing, it is illegal to pass another car that's going in the same direction as you. It's a huge safety rule, and it's there to protect any pedestrians you might not see. Okay, that was a lot of info, I know. So let's pull it all together into one simple final checklist that you can actually use when you're out on the road. This table is basically your ultimate cheat sheet. You can see the key differences at a glance. School zones are tied to that school calendar with 3 time blocks. Playground zones, they run every single day with one long time window. And for both of them, those two critical overrides, the flashing lights and the no passing rule, are always in effect. So, if you only remember 3 things, make it these. First, spot the signs so you know when you're entering or leaving a zone. Second, know the difference between school and playground timing. And most important of all, if you see flashing lights, it's game on. Slow down and do not pass. And there you have it. That's our full breakdown of school and playground zones. Hopefully the next time you see one of those signs, it'll be a moment of total clarity, not confusion. So let me ask you, on your next drive, what's the one rule from all this that's going to be top of mind for you? Thanks for tuning in.